What's up, y'all? It's your girl Cornelia back for another episode of Black News, a podcast where we break down current events, hot topics, and local stories involving Black people. Now let's get into it. First things first. No real notes, y'all. Ain't got no real notes. Just here to say thanks for supporting. As I always say, you guys are fantastic, supporting on all platforms. I got shows. Check my website, Cornelia.com, for show dates and information. And, thanks for the love. I appreciate it. And with that said, let's get into it. Stacey Dash is white now, y'all. She white. Not even like she's white. And she already was kind of white facing after her stint on Fox News, because y'all remember when Stacey Dash became a political commentator and then started chiming in as the token Black person on Fox News. We got her up out of here. Because it's one thing that we don't really stand for is, the turncoat. Okay, we not standing up for the turn of the coat. But Stacey Dash, now she looked like a white woman. And I'm only mentioning Stacey Dash on Black News is because she posted a video of herself on social media that went viral, crying and in tears because she didn't know that DMX had passed away. Now, a few things. DMX died like a year and some change ago. It was April 2021. DMX has been gone, rest in peace, for quite some time. And I feel like you had to have not watched anything that whole time to have missed this. Or you have not watched anything with Black people that has been hosted by Black people, followed any Black content, paid any attention to any of the Blacks in order to not see this. Because if you Black or of color, everybody was talking about DMX dying. It was a huge deal. Y'all know this. DMX passing away was a huge deal. But not if you one of the whites. So she was crying. She was talking about how she'd been clean for years because apparently she struggled with addiction as well. And she was saying it got him. He lost all this stuff. But like, Stacey, y'all, what happened? What happened? Stacey Dash was one of Black Hollywood's, she was like one of the bad bees in like Black Hollywood. Remember, she was back. I'm talking about back when she was in Richard Pryor movie Moving. Okay, Moving, Clueless. Stacey Dash wasn't she in a Kanye West video? Like, we would look at Stacey Dash and be like, "Oh, she's beautiful," and then just something happened. Like, I don't know what it was, but she just took a turn. We got her up out of here. But apparently, when we banished her, that also banished her own self from Black America to the point where she didn't know DMX was dead. I'm wondering, do she know anybody else passed away? Because if you ain't know DMX died, you don't know nothing. Okay? But I don't know. I was more concerned that it looks like she was bleaching her skin. Or maybe she just ain't been outside. Because I'm kind of one of those people too. If I don't be outside that much, I get lighter. Now, I don't turn into a Karen. I just get lighter. Y'all know this. You ask me, I think I'm dark skinned. So when I ain't in the sun, I'm like probably regular brown. Even though the naysayers will say otherwise. But we don't really listen to or acknowledge that. Okay? But Stacey Dash turned into a white woman physically, mentally, and emotionally. Okay? Let's pray for her. Because after that video, I'm concerned. Okay? I'm concerned. What do you guys think? Did you even care? And I will say this again. I wouldn't even be talking about this on Black News if she hadn't mentioned our good brother DMX. If she would have got on and been like, I didn't know Betty White died, I would have been like, nah, we ain't even. Nope, beat it. Okay, beat it. But she talked about DMX, so we got to bring her up on Black News. Did y'all see it, and what did y'all think? Do you think she's delusional or also a white woman the same way that me and the rest of Black America assumed? Hit me up, let me know. I'd like to circle back to a topic that I brought up maybe a week or two ago. Serena Williams retiring from tennis. She is hanging up the rackets. She will be bowing out. Well, this past weekend was her actual final match. Our good sis Serena done made it to the third rounds of the U.S. Open. I'm talking about some people counted her out, thought it was just going to be like a one and done. People were at that first match like, oh, it's going to be great. Oh, last time. And then she whooped up on old girl. Next night, whooped up on old girl. Third night was back again. And let me tell y'all something. Well, first, she played her third round match against, and I'm going to tear this name up, okay? Ajla Tomjanovic, whatever. I think the girls from Australia, they were battling it out. In this case, though, in regards to that other girl, it's literally like that Drake lyric when he said something like, when your rivals become your idols, you got to AI them for your survival. You literally have to beat your idol in order to keep going. And in this case, she had to beat Serena, which she ended up doing. But y'all, let me tell you something. I went to happy hour on Friday to watch the match. I was like, let me go give me a margarita. It was a hard week. I had a hard and long week. Whoop my butt. I was like, let me go give me some margarita, a little nachos. Okay. Watch the match. It's going to be maybe about an hour and a half. I'm just going to sit up in there and do my thing. Y'all, that thing was long. And I'm not talking about long in the sense of, yes, long to watch, because I ended up going home. The match was still going. This was after I had 2 margaritas, nachos, and some ceviche. Okay. Your girl was full. I got home. It was still going. Serena is the greatest of all time. Yes, because of all of the accolades and things she has achieved in breaking down barriers in women's tennis, especially for Black women. Her and Venus have done something that nobody else has done for the sport. But when I tell you she the GOAT, because ain't nobody else, or can't nobody else be doing all that running around for that long at that age, y'all, I was watching and I was exhausted. I have watched tennis and Serena and Venus play for years. But it is not until I'm my age now, trying to do all of the things that I'm doing, maintain a consistent workout routine, and how whooped I be after I do me a little hour workout, to see Serena Williams running back and forth across that tennis court for 2.5 hours at over 40. Yeah. And she did all of this after she had a C-section. Now, we always talk about people be the greatest of all time. And I saw this, and it really did something to me. I saw this posted somewhere, probably on social media, on Twitter. We talk about the GOATs and Tom Brady and Michael Jordan and LeBron and all these other people. Did they achieve all of these things after having their abdomen sliced open and sewn back together? Not to say she just had the C-section, because baby Olympia she's like 3 or 4. But if you talk to anybody who has had a child in a C-section, that road to recovery and to feel like you are yourself again is hard. She doing all of this after she had her damn stomach sliced. Y'all, give her the crown. I was exhausted watching this. At one point, I was like, oh, she used to be doing all of this and whooping y'all ass, breaking a sweat, but not like a big one. I'm talking about she is over 40 doing all of this. Y'all, the match was so long, her mama was in the crowd sleeping. Like, Miss Orsine was in the crowd in full slumber. That's how you know it was a long time. Y'all, after that, I was like, oh, I already knew Serena was the greatest. But now that I'm putting it into perspective, comparing her age to my age, and I ain't never had no kids. Child, give this woman the GOAT title, period. It was overall a good match. It was sad that she ended up losing, because it seemed like it was going to turn into one of those like fairy tale stories where her final run, she ended up winning the U.S. Open. That would have been great, but she didn't. But she had a good run, and y'all all know this. We already talked about it. She did, in her final speech, give a shout out to, once she talked about her dad and how he was at home watching, and she gave a shout out to Venus, because like she said, without Venus, there would be no Serena. We talk about how Serena is the GOAT, and yes, she has all these accolades, but Venus Williams was the first one to kick that door in, and Serena came right after. So if that is real talk, if it weren't for Venus Williams doing what she did and taking that and putting that on her back, Serena it probably wouldn't have played out the same way it did. She still would have been the greatest, but it just would have been a different road. So kudos to Serena. She the GOAT, child. That girl got stamina. Okay. Did y'all watch? Are y'all sad? I'm happy for her. I'm happy she gets to take on a new journey in her life. And she's still young. She can do literally anything she wants. She got another 50 years in her, child. I'm happy for her. What did you guys think? And did you watch? And what are your overall feelings about it? Hit me up. The phrase "woo child" ain't never been as relevant as it is right now. Woo child, y'all. One thing about people and social media is that once you come out and say and do something crazy, or say and do something bad, or say and do something wild in attack of other people, or just in general, people gonna start digging. And people gonna start digging, and they ain't gonna stop digging. Because one thing about people, they be having free time. People be having time on their hands. And after Ari Spears went after Lizzo last week, we talked about this on Black News. Child, they done dug up some old sketches from years ago. And now that brother is back in its drag city. Okay. They done scooped up Tiffany Haddish, and she's now into it too. I mentioned last week about people being delusional, but I want to also add an asterisk into that and keep in mind, people be finding shit. People be finding stuff. Now in this case, there were a couple of videos. I don't know how many there were sketches that Aries and Tiffany Haddish were in. Now, I have not watched the videos, so I cannot say much about them. I am not in the business of volunteering to be triggered in any way. And people's reaction and just the chatter around it, I'm not signing up to even kind of risk that. I ain't triggering myself, okay? I'm not doing it. But apparently there is now a court case, and it appears that the child from one of the videos and his family is pushing it forward and calling for some charges or money. I'm not sure in particular what they're asking for, but it is now a court case. They have legal counsel, Tiffany Aries, and the child and he's not I don't know if he's still a child, but him and his family. What it sounds like, there were two sketches. One was like a Bill Cosby sketch. Aries was playing Bill and Tiffany was playing like a woman. And there was another where Tiffany was playing a mom. There was a child, and Aries was like doing some creepy stuff with the little boy. And again, I haven't watched, but people were taking like screenshots and showing the comments. And this is what's crazy about the internet and people. The sketches came out years ago. Years ago, people were in the comments laughing, crying emoji, thinking it's so funny, so funny, so funny. All the way up until maybe like a year ago, people were like still chiming in on it. Then within like the last week, the comments drastically shifted, with people still randomly chiming in that it was so funny, blah, 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 which shows how culture and things shift our awareness, our sense of humor, what we tolerate, especially in regards to like things like this. Because when I saw those screenshots, I immediately was like, that's how some people did about R. Kelly. Knew what he was doing, thought it was funny, didn't pay no attention to it, stepping in the name of love, and then drastically the shift where people were like, wait a minute, that ain't right. Hold on now. And then there was a new conversation and a new level of perspective and awareness. That could be the same with this. Again, I do not know because I ain't watching it. But people gonna find some shit. I tell you that. Now, Tiffany Haddish released a statement, rightfully so, because if you are on any side of this, on the bad side, you need to get in front of it. You need to get in front of it quick, and you need to say something. So this is what Tiffany Haddish's statement said. I know people have a bunch of questions. I get it. I'm right there with you. Unfortunately, because there's an ongoing legal case, there's very little that I can say right now. But clearly, while this sketch was intended to be comedic, it wasn't funny at all. And I deeply regret having agreed to act in it. I really look forward to being able to share a lot more about this situation as soon as I can. Okay, that's a solid statement. And again, it's in the court's hands now. It's a whole different ball game. This ain't just no hearsay. These people got lawyers, so we just gonna have to stand by and wait to see what happens. I do know, especially now in comedy, and you can turn on some old episodes of Chappelle's Show, turn on some old Mad TV episodes. Some of that stuff in Living Color, we can't do it. Think about Handyman in Living Color. You out your mind if you think somebody gonna be able to put up a handyman sketch, about a handicapped man in 2022. It's a totally different landscape. And the fact that we are here now, and now this got dug up, and they're having to answer to things that they did many years ago. This just with the time we live in. But in regards to how it originally started with Aries, you got some shit to say, and you talking about people gonna find something. With that said, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut, and I'm gonna just keep delivering the black news because, hey, my name Bennett. I ain't in it. What did y'all think about it? What's y'all stance? Do y'all have a stance at all? Did y'all watch the sketches? If so, hit me up on social media at Cornelia with what you thought about it and this overall situation. Let's get into honorable mention. Big congratulations to Steph Curry, who graduated from undergrad at Davidson University and had his number retired at the school in an overall ceremony in his honor. Clap for that man. Good job to Steph Curry. He was a semester short of getting his bachelor's degree. He finished that and wasn't able to go to the original graduation ceremony in May. So the school decided to give him a separate one to commemorate all of his achievements, to retire his jersey number 30, and he was inducted to the school's Hall of Fame. Y'all, that's so dope. One, it's dope that he finished. A lot of people don't feel like they need to finish. And once you get a certain amount of money, you ain't got to finish. Steph Curry ain't got to finish school. He did not have to finish school. You ain't like he about to try to get him a job working in like IT somewhere. He ain't need that degree, but he felt like he wanted it and he needed for his own personal journey. Shout out to that brother. I get it. Then it seemed like in his, some comments that he made in the speeches, he understood the magnitude of it, because they ain't doing that for everybody. They not doing that for people like, oh, you missed graduation? Let's have your own. No, but they doing it for Steph Curry. He also became the first Davidson athlete of any sport to have his jersey retired. So overall, just kudos to him. Davidson is in North Carolina. I had no clue. I don't be, if it ain't a known one, like a big one, I don't be knowing where it's at. It's in North Carolina. It was close to where he grew up. His parents were there, family, friends, people he played against, coaches. It was a wonderful ceremony. And that brother finally got his degree after many years of playing in the NBA. So big shout out to Steph Curry for all of his accomplishments. People are saying he's arguably one of the best basketball players that have ever played. People are now throwing him into that GOAT conversation. I ain't gonna even get into it because y'all know who I'm with. But shout out to Stephen Curry. What's his name? Wardell. I think isn't his real name like Wardell or something. Shout out to that brother. Did y'all see the news? And what did you guys think about it? Are you as happy for Steph Curry as I am and everybody else, it seems? Everybody besides like Warrior haters, because they ain't never happy about nothing. But what did y'all think about it? Hit me up on social media at Cornelia. That's it for this week's episode of Black News, y'all. Thanks again. Thank you. And thank you again so much for sticking with us, supporting the podcast, liking and subscribing on all apps where podcasts can be heard, rating 5 stars, and leaving a comment. It helps more than you know, so I really, really appreciate it. And keep sharing Black News with all of your friends and family. Be sure to hit me up on social media if you got ideas for topics. Or just hit me up in general to let me know you've been listening. Let me know your thoughts. I'm at Cornelia on all platforms across the board. That's at Cornelia, like Kenny and Ophelia. Also check my website. I got some shows coming up in Los Angeles County. Hopefully get on the road soon. But for now, if you're in the LA area, hit me up. Check Cornelia.com for show dates and details. And as always, thanks again so much, guys. I hope you have a fantastic week. Keep supporting, keep growing, keep building, keep staying safe, and keep staying healthy. As always, again, I'll see you back here next time, same time, same place. Bye.